Okay, Jurgen, can you please shortly introduce yourself?
My name is Jurgen Appelo, and I am a writer and speaker from the Netherlands. And my favorite topics are agile management and leadership, and I talk about that all over the world.
Okay, thank you for that introduction. And now about the first Agile Serbia Conference. Can you tell us your impressions about the conference, about the organization of the conference, and the value that is delivered through it?
Well, I'm very happy to be at the first Agile Serbia Conference. They're never going to take that away from me, which is very nice. I was very impressed with the organization so far. I came into the hotel and there was a nice letter describing everything from you have to be there at this time and you have to be there at that time. That was very helpful for me as a speaker who travels to many different events, so it's easy to mix things up. So everything seems to be well organized, and I look forward to the rest of the day.
Okay, now some specific questions about Agile. From your personal experience, can you tell us, did you experience any specific challenge during the implementation of Agile methodologies through your work?
Yes, well, the typical challenge that people have is when they know or they learn how to be Agile teams, whether with Scrum or other frameworks or methods, they quickly encounter obstacles in the organization, like human resource practices or management practices that are old-fashioned. Like they have to work as a team, but the bonuses are individual at the end of the year, and people get individual performance targets. That doesn't fit. So the agile processes and practices for the teams, they don't fit in the larger organization that has a more traditional mindset. That is usually what I find all around the world, and that is why I try to help managers and leaders also change their part of the organization so that there is a better fit of the agile teams within the larger company.
Okay, you just mentioned the word leaders. So the main difference between managers and leaders, and what would you say on your personal example, how does it look to lead by example?
Well, leadership means having followers. It means having an idea, asking people to follow you in implementing that idea, and if people follow you, then you are by definition a leader. And that also means, using that definition, that anyone in the organization can be a leader. Anyone can start implementing new ideas. And I offered a few of them in my keynote session, such as personal maps, OKRs, merit money, whatever. So lots of people can start ideas, practices that are not necessarily managers themselves. So for me, the difference between leaders and managers is leadership is often a role that you can simply take upon yourself. Management, that is often a job description. It is on a person's business card, say I am the manager of this department or something like that. But also the managers will have to understand that they are required to be more like leaders nowadays, not just tell people what to do, but invite them to join in an experiment and try new practices. So they also have to be leaders.
Okay, and which of these practices do you use in Happy Melly? Which of them you consider as the most useful in leading, by example?
So Happy Melly is my company, and it's a very small company still. It's about 14 people. And practices that we use, well, a very important one is delegation, so that the teams know how far they can make their own decisions. Do they need my permission? Do they need to ask me for my input? We try to clarify these things so that they don't need to ask me questions all the time. So a delegation board I find very important, and also I suggest other companies doing the same. The one that is also successful for us is merit money, peer-to-peer crediting, where we give each other points, and the points accumulate over time, and after a while we convert those points to actual bonus money. So basically the team pays each other bonus instead of me paying the team members directly. And they really seem to like that, and that is also an interesting practice for others to try, I believe.
Okay, and in the end, can you give some advice and do you have any message for the Serbian IT community?
Well, keep organizing this conference every year. So that is something that I can really recommend. They do that in many other places as well. And keep running experiments. Do not change people. Do not tell them we are now going to implement a new framework, because that doesn't work well with people. You implement frameworks on machines, not on people. You ask people to join you in an experiment. Let's try something out. Children love experiments. We learned to play when we were young and try things out together on the playgrounds. So experiments are much less threatening for people. So as a manager or as a leader, don't tell people, let's change this company. Just invite them to participate in an experiment. Let's try this personal maps thing. Let's try this delegation board and see how we can make it work for our company. And that is a much safer way of starting the change that you want to see.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you too.